Some animal types stand out not only because they are different, but also because they are very rare and need to be protected right away. We're going to list the 10 most threatened species from around the world today. From the deep jungles of India to the seas of Mexico, these animals are in danger, but we can help protect them for future generations if we work together. Number 10. Purple frog, Nasikabatrachus sahyadrensis. The purple frog is a unique animal that was only found in the Western Ghats of India in 2003. It has a unique look with a purple swollen body, a pointy nose, and a small head. This species has become very good at living underground, and it spends almost its whole life there. During the rainy season, it comes to the surface for a short time to breed. This animal's main food source is termites, which it eats with a special tongue. The purple frog is an important part of the ecosystem because it helps keep the dirt healthy and controls the number of insects that live there. Unfortunately, habitat loss from cutting down trees, farming, and building cities is a major threat to its future. The species is also in danger because climate change changes the way it breeds, which makes things even worse. Conservation plans focus on keeping its natural habitat safe, studying its ecosystem, and making more people aware of this rare animal's presence. Protecting the purple frog is very important for keeping biodiversity alive in the Western Ghats, which are a world biodiversity hotspot. Number 9. Gooty tarantula, Poecilotheria metallica. The Gooty tarantula is native to a small forest area in Andhra Pradesh, India. Its bright metallic blue color makes it stand out. The spider lives in tree hollows and makes funnel-shaped webs to catch its food, which is mostly insects and small invertebrates. Because of how colorful it is very popular as an exotic pet. This, along with the loss of its environment due to cutting down trees, makes it very hard for it to survive. The Gooty tarantula is an important part of its environment because it keeps the number of insects in check, which is good for the health of the forest. To help protect the species, rules are being enforced against illegal collection, and the public is being made more aware of how important this species is to the environment. The goal of captive breeding programs is also to lower the desire for animals from the wild that are kept as pets. The Gooty tarantula needs to be protected not only because it is beautiful, but also so that the delicate balance of its forest environment can be kept. Number 8. Kakapo, Strigops, habroptilus. The kakapo, also known as the night parrot, is a highly endangered bird that is only found in New Zealand. It can't fly. It is the only parrot in the world that can't fly and only comes out at night. Its mossy green feathers, strong body, and owl-like face disc make it easy to spot. The natural fruits, seeds, leaves, and bark are what kakapos eat. In the past, they did very well in New Zealand's woods, but when people brought in cats, rats, and stoats as predators, they became very vulnerable. Because they lived on the ground and couldn't fly, and because they reproduced slowly, they almost went extinct. Intensive conservation efforts have been made, such as moving kakapos to islands without predators, controlling their breeding by raising chicks by hand, and improving health through genetic tracking. With less than 250 people, the population is still very low, even with these steps. For the kakapo to stay alive, its habitat must always be protected, predators must be kept in check, and genetic variety must be carefully managed. The kakapo is one of the most interesting conservation stories because of its unique evolutionary past and ecological role. Number 7. Javan rhino, Rhinoceros, sondaicus. The Javan rhinoceros is one of the rarest and most threatened big cats in the world. There are only about 80 of them left, and they can only be found in Ujung Kulon National Park in Indonesia. This species lives alone and is hard to find. It has a single small horn and thick, gray skin that looks like armor and has a mosaic pattern. The Javan rhino prefers thick lowland rainforests and is a browser that eats a wide range of plants. This animal used to live all over Southeast Asia, but now is almost extinct because people are hunting it for its horn, and farming and human growth have destroyed a lot of its environment. Today, strict patrols to stop poaching, restoring territory, and keeping an eye on things are all important ways to protect wildlife. But problems like a lack of genetic variation and the chance of natural disasters make it hard for it to stay alive. For long-term preservation, it is important to make protected places bigger and maybe even add a second population site. By protecting the Javan rhino, important rainforest environments will be kept alive. Number 6. Saola, Pseudoryx nghetinhensis. Often called the Asian unicorn, the Saola is one of the most mysterious and uncommon animals on Earth. This species lives in the thick Annamite Mountains between Laos and Vietnam, but it wasn't found until 1992. The Saola has striking long, parallel horns and white marks on its face that make it stand out. It only eats plants that have leaves, fruits, and bushes. Because it is shy and lives in a remote area, not much is known about how it acts. Loss of habitat from cutting down trees and hunting with snares are very bad for its existence. Protecting the Saola's habitat, getting rid of snares, and doing field study to learn more about its ecology are all important parts of conservation efforts. The Saola is very rare and hard to find, which makes it even more important to start focused conservation efforts right away to keep it from going extinct. Number 5. Pangolin, family, Manidae. Pangolins, which are sometimes called scaly anteaters, are special animals with keratin scales that protect them. Pangolins come in 8 different kinds that live in Asia and Africa. These animals only come out at night and eat ants and termites. They get the bugs out of nests with their long, sticky tongues. Pangolins curl up into a small ball when they feel threatened, which makes them easy to catch for food. Due to the high demand for their scales in traditional medicine and their meat as a treat, they are the most trafficked animals in the world. Destruction of habitat is another big problem. Laws against poaching, public education programs, and the creation of wildlife sanctuaries are all examples of conservation efforts. International teamwork is very important to stop illegal trade and keep pangolins from going extinct. Because they keep insect members in check, they are very important to the balance of the ecosystem. Number 4. Northern bald ibis, Geronticus eremita. The northern bald ibis used to live in large numbers in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. However, habitat loss, killing, and disturbances from people are now seriously endangering this bird. The red, bald head and long, curved bill of this bird make it easy to spot. Its feathers are glossy black with a greenish sheen. Northern bald ibises like to nest in semi-arid areas and on rocky rocks. They mostly eat bugs, small snakes, and other animals that don't have backbones. Conservation efforts have mainly focused on breeding animals in captivity, reintroduction projects, and protecting their habitats, which has helped some populations rebound. In particular, work in Morocco and Europe has helped small, stable populations grow. However, the species is still at risk of habitat loss and illegal shooting. To make sure that this famous and ancient bird species stays alive for a long time, countries must continue to work together and use effective protection strategies. Number 3. Axolotl, Ambystoma mexicanum. The axolotl is a highly endangered amphibian that only lives in the Xochimilco Lake complex, which is close to Mexico City. Many experts around the world are fascinated by this animal's remarkable ability to grow new limbs, spinal cords, and even parts of his heart and brain. Axolotls are different from most frogs because they stay in their larval form their whole lives, keeping their gills and living only underwater. They look unique and cute because they have feathery gills on the outside, eyes without lids, and a wide, laughing mouth. It's very dangerous for axolotls to live in cities and polluted areas, and exotic species like tilapia and carp eat young axolotls. As part of conservation efforts, they keep animals as pets and clean up and protect their natural waterways through habitat restoration projects. The axolotl's future depends on ongoing efforts to protect this amazing species and its unique ability to grow back from the dead. Number 2. Amur Leopard, Panthera pardus orientalis. The Amur Leopard lives in temperate forests in the Russian Far East and northeastern China. There are now less than 100 of these animals left in the wild, making them severely endangered. This predator only comes out at night and lives alone. Its thick, pale fur is covered in widely spread rosettes that help it blend in with its surroundings in snow. Amur leopards are quick on their feet and can jump more than 6 meters in the air. Roe deer, hares, and other small mammals make up most of their food. The main things that threaten their survival are habitat loss from cutting, poaching for their fur, and running out of food. Patrols to stop poaching, habitat restoration, and setting up protected areas are all examples of conservation activities. The Amur leopard's future depends on conservation efforts that keep going and get bigger to protect this rare and beautiful big cat. Number 1. Vaquita, Phocoinus. There are only a few vaquitas left in the world, and they can only be found in the northern Gulf of California. Small porpoise. This one is about 1.5 meters long and weighs up to 55 kilos. It looks different because of the dark rings around its eyes and dark spots on its lips. Vaquitas are shy and hard to find. They often stay away from boats, which makes it hard to study them. Their numbers have dropped drastically because they get caught in gill nets that are used to catch totoama fish illegally. Conservation attempts have been put in place, such as the ban on gill nets and the creation of protected marine zones, but it is still hard to enforce the rules. The vaquita is in danger of going extinct if nothing is done right away. This shows how important it is to take stronger protection steps right away. These amazing animals make us think about how fragile the balance is in the world's ecosystems. As we finish this list of threatened species, it's clear how important it is to protect them. Let's keep supporting programs that help protect these animals so that they can live and our world will be healthy for years to come.